What is going on? I have no clue. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here with YouTube. What the hell is this? Guys, what the hell is this? Look at this, guys. Look what I got. Look what I got here. What's going on with the YouTube thing here? Twitter. Look at this. Let me show it off. So many flies in my desk right now. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on here. Look at that. Look at this beautiful thing. 42 and 195 kilometers. 5 hours and 6 minutes. I was running this Sunday. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a human running for 5 hours? That's crazy, isn't it? The thing is, of course, that 5 hours is a very long time. That's actually a bad time for an athlete like me. But you need to understand that I'm not a runner at all, right? I'm not a runner. I never ran for more than 5 kilometers in my life. You know what I mean? And I trained for 4 months. I also was training in the gym. And I was injured, right? I had an infection on my Achilles tendon. My knee was popping out and my calf was bored. So was this starting soon? That's not what we need. Be right back is also not what we need. Life is what we need. Is he really alive? It is, man. The man himself is back. So remember, guys, that I basically said, I think 4 months ago live on stream, I said, listen, I'm going to run a marathon. But guys, don't worry, I'm already over the finish line in my mind. In my vision, I'm already over the finish line. And as you can see, the exact image I had when I closed my eyes back then was exactly the image, the picture my GF took from me when I was finished. Yeah, baby. What's going on here actually? It's so weird to stream because it's been a week, isn't it? It's been a week. Hey, look, a medal. Yeah. So I'm gonna take it off because I don't know, it feels weird. No, oh, but hey. Achievement unlocked, right? Some people, they hunt achievements in games. Well, we hunt achievements in real life, you know. That's the difference. We are not the same. What up? I'm Joe. What's up, boss? Welcome. What's up, boss? Dalut. What up, man? Welcome here. Tommy Fury is fighting this weekend, I guess, against KSI. Pretty interesting to see what's going to happen. And then we have Dylan Dennis is also fighting. Dylan Dennis is fighting this Soydev. What's his name? Logan Paul, right? That's what's happening. So what I'm gonna do basically, guys, is real quick open up YouTube, to be honest, do some administration because we are a little bit late to the party with our administration here. How do we do this? Click here, Control C, then we go to Discord. For the people who are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing, right? And jump into the Discord community. You know what I mean? Discord community here. Look at that. How many people are in here today? 500 plus some people with privileges. You know what I mean? So what we do here is we're gonna tag everyone because everyone. I'm live. Copy the paste the link. Send it anyway. Publish to everyone. Boom. That's it. Have ever watched Malky? No, I didn't. What's going on here? Mateus Andrade, what up, boss? What OS are you using? Windows, but also a little bit of Linux, thanks to WSL 2, which integrates perfectly with VS Code. Yeah. The one and only beast. LDM. What up, Lars? Man, so many flies here. It's crazy. So what we're going to do today, I actually have no fucking clue. What I want to do is just hang out a little bit here, right? Show my face, that I'm not dead. And maybe we're gonna do something here with a status thing, because we have, for the people that don't know, we are building. So you may be wondering, why are you wearing your headset so weird, like this, right? You see this? That's how I'm wearing it lately. So because I don't have any hair, and what noticed when I was looking in the mirror is that if I have this like the normal way all the time, it's basically creating some special imprint in your skull that stays forever, and that's nasty, right? So that's why I'm basically changing the angle a little bit so I can mitigate I can mitigate the imprint, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I cannot do stand-ins anymore for Johnny Sins. The Great Walk, you could make a bot that auto posts your YouTube videos to Discord when published. Yeah, it's true. I'm still, yeah. I met back from your league bender. What's your league bender, man? What is that? Oh! It creates a WW1 trench. Exactly, that's exactly what's happened. It won't stay forever. I don't know, man. I think it stays forever, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I'm a little bit scared here, to be honest. Yes. So for the people that don't know, we are building Levenue 2.0, yada yada, with Svelte and Golang, and we have some stuff going on here, not too fancy. Because we're gonna try to replace our version 1. This flies here is crazy. We're gonna replace our version 1 with a simple, basically the bigger brother of version 1 is v2.00001 actually. Man, I'm gonna clap this fly on the cheeks, and he or she is not gonna even see it coming. So I'm basically trying to calculate the distance he is, and then when he flies back, it's just gonna be a quick and painless death for him, or it, or they. I don't know what it is. I don't know what this fly identifies himself as. It doesn't matter, because it's gonna be dead very soon. So we have this simple funding history, which basically is, like I said, this is a very scuffed dashboard for funding. But like I said, I'm not a front-end engineer, not a UX UI specialist, right? So this is what I came up with. And this is being seeded in from, where is it being seeded in? I think it's being seeded in from the seed. It may not go here, right? You see, we're creating these funding requests here, with statuses, I guess. What's going on here? Let me do this here. Close to the right. No, close all maybe. Boom, look at that. Right, and then you can see it's gonna have a funding request status declined, cancelled, listed, accepted. Actually, to be honest, let's make one more. So we're gonna copy paste this thing. We're gonna make, how much do you think we want? Maybe we want to have 75k, you know what I mean? 75k. And then we're gonna say expired, because I think it's gonna bork the front end. So we're gonna do make again like this, refresh this page here. No, it's not expired. Oh yeah, well, I'm an idiot. I'm actually completely need to be fired. Of course, if we seed something, we need to seed it. You know what I mean? It's not gonna magically be in database, right? We're gonna say make up. Why? Because we're gonna migrate this thing, and then when it's migrated, we're gonna do a make seed like that. Are you using UI for the components? Yes, I will show you what we are using. What's up, Roman Boss? What's up, man? Hi, man. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? You did game and trade project. It was awesome. What with that project? Will you finish them or not? Probably not gonna finish them. They are in the graveyard. You know what I mean? The problem is that as a YouTuber, it's very hard to make exciting content all the time, right? If you start a project, a lot of new people come in, But then after a couple of episodes, after a couple of streams or videos, you can see these viewerships, they are dropping, right? It goes from maybe 100 people in the stream, then it goes to 70, 40, and then at a certain point of time, only 20 people are in the stream. Why? Because you're at a certain point of time, you're going to be at a phase in your project where only the people that watched every single episode can follow along. So people come in, they have no clue what's going on, and they get the fuck out and they go to Primogen. You know, that's a problem. That's why we try to make a lot of projects and a lot of fugazi around startup things and everything, just to get some attention. It is what it is, right? I'm a businessman. I'm an entertainer. We need to do creative things. Make, what am I doing in Make? That's the only thing we need. I'm gonna refresh this thing. Boom. Look at this. I'm him. Expired here. You know what I mean? This great thing. So it would be cool to have some kind of a filter, right? And of course, a filter where we can filter based on a couple of things. For example, status. Maybe the period here, right? So what is the period? The period is basically the amount of time. It's two things, right? So it's if you have a period of 12 months, which is 1 year, you're gonna basically trade revenue for 1 year. Which basically made after 1 year, it needs to be paid back, right? For now it's default 12, so I'm not quite sure, but I think a status filter as an MVP of this beautiful table would be amazing. What do you think, chat? Let us be honest. What up, boss hero? YXX, welcome to the chat. Man, I'm actually tired and I need to pee and all that stuff. I'm not in a comfortable position now. I don't know what it is. But sometimes you need to take the bitter pill and just be a man, you know what I mean? Okay, so how are we gonna do this? I have no clue, right? Like I said, I'm gonna do some inventions here. So we have this Svelte kit project here, right, with a lot of stuff. We have the request forum. We don't need that. Let's close everything, to be honest, here, and let's open up this thing. How can it be? How did I call this thing here? I think it's going to be a table. So let's search for table. The funding request table. That's it. Look at this, beautiful. So the cool thing in Svelte is basically that you can do something like this, right? This await, then catch error thingy, which is amazing. Otherwise you need to do something like in React with a hook on mount, and then you need to basically, when your component is mounting, then you're gonna fetch that from your API or something, which is fine. But I think this is better. I don't know, this is cool, right? It's just, I don't know, it's black magic. And what is the #1 rule in programming for things that are black magic? You just accept it and you don't ask any further questions. You know? Is your frontend server rendered? It's Svelte kit, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe, potentially, probably. Okay. So we have this list funding request here. This is a table, so probably a couple decisions we need to make. Are we going to put that thing into the table itself? We probably do. So if we make a div here real quick, right, and we're gonna say here there's gonna be a class of py10, and we're gonna do a bg red 500 just to see. Okay, cool. That's not where it needs to be actually. Actually, it is. It needs to be there. It's the sweet spot. This music is so fucking trash. What's going on here? That's better. That's much better. Please recommend any resource for Golang basics before I purchase your course. Well, I have in the course a complete chapter about the Golang basics, from installation to masturbation. Know what I mean? Ejaculation. The whole shebang. And my channel. You know what I mean? The how to Golang playlist. Muy bien. Okay, so this is the place we're gonna put that thing. So for what are we using? We're using chat cn Svelte, this thing, as a component library, right? So as a non UX UI guru, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explore what they do here and then just copy pasterino the whole shebang, right? For example, here documentation teams examples here. Click customers. Hello, cards. This sounds good, right? Look at that. Status filter here. Click. And then we're gonna have a period. Click. This is what we need, right? So how can we actually inspect this thing? There's basically a select, and a select, isn't it? So what I'm trying to do, if I want to implement something, but I don't really know any specifics of how it's gonna behave, how it's gonna work, how it's gonna look, I just come up with something very lean and mean. And then we can hire somebody else to make it complete. No, then we can actually improve upon that. Because by the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If a user can filter on a status, that's fine, right? Does it need to be fancy? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. What are you with a fancy website with 0 users? Nothing. What are you with a less looking fancy website? But maybe here and there a little bit of spaghetti code because you need to move fast, but with 150 users. What would you choose? Well, select. Do we have some select here? Can I copy paste some stuff that I did? I think I do. I think the request funding form. There's a label. This is select here, right? So first of all, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. Oh, what's this? Copy this. Paste that in here. I think we can do. Can we do import all as select? Delete all this bullshit. Can we do that? We can, right? Actually, I think I have something in the onboarding. Yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Input select the root. That's what I want here. Look at that. We're gonna copy this whole thing here, right? Boom, 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 butts. And then we're gonna paste that inside of this. We don't need to paste it inside of this div, to be honest. We can just do this. Bind selected. Maybe we need to have a div here. Paste this in. Save that. Function. Filter. Status. Boom. Filter. Status. Save. Press enter. That's not gonna work. Why? Why is it not working? I don't know. Let's see. Void is not assignable. Wait, I'm actually confused here, to be honest. I don't know why. Aha! I see. What are you doing? Yeah. I see, guys. Hey. So we need to do this. Because we need to do something like let status, actually filter status or status filter. Status filter. Let's do something like, why is it an any? Aha, because the selected company thing. That's because that's the Svelte kit chat CDN thing. It's an object, right? That's why we need that. So we're gonna do this here real quick, like that. Then we need to do an dynamic binding thing. Status filter is Now we need to do this. This is so nasty. Selected. Status filter. Yeah. It's select the status filter value. Look at that. That's what we need. Boom. Look at this. We're gonna copy this. We're gonna paste that again, right? And I'm gonna say selected period filter, maybe, which is premature optimization because I already thought we're not gonna need it, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just to be fancy. There's gonna be a period filter. Selected period filter. Press enter. Ah, it's my ears. I just came out of the shower. It's full of wet. My ears are wet, just like my girlfriend most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Filter status. This flies on my screen. I don't know what it's doing. It's pair programming. There's going to be status filter. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to make... Actually, this period, I'm going to delete this because we're not going to use it anyway. Right? Let me see the chat real quick. Hey, Anthony, I had an interview today and I asked me how to distributed systems work. And then I gave them your girlfriend example. They are so impressed. It is, man. Like that. The girlfriend example of distributed systems is a golden. It's your ticket to. It's your ticket to being hired. Because, what are they gonna say about that? They will be choking with your answer. You know what I mean? Any everywhere, exactly. But the thing is, like. It's not any everywhere, right? But what else, right? Because this is going to be the selected status filter. This is coming from this chat-cn thingy. We don't want to mess with that. You know what I mean? We can spend some time to dig what this type is going to be, and then we need... Nah. It's probably going to be multiple types, or it's going to be something crazy. Any is fine. In this case. Yeah. Like I said, you can make TypeScript as complex as you want, and for now, any is fine. Alright, so what we need actually is we need to have a list of available statuses, in my opinion. Which... How can we do that? It's gonna be a const, right? Const. Maybe filter statuses. How do you write statuses actually? Is this with double S? I don't know. Statuses. Yeah, it is. That's nice. Alright. It's going to be an array of... in this case, I think TypeScript needs to infer this, right? So we're going to say a types... No, that's not true. That's not Golang. It's going to be... I think it's going to be a funding request status. Actually, we don't need to do that. Or do we? Press enter. Dot. Accepted. This is weird. Like I said, I'm probably not doing this in the best way, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Because... Ideally, you are going to filter on the statuses that are basically available as the response you have from your API. Because let's say that's the ideal world, right? Let's say there are 4 listed, which actually is impossible, but whatever. 4 listed and 3 cancelled. So then there is basically no need to filter on something else because they don't exist. That would be the ideal customer satisfaction. Not satisfaction. The ideal customer experience. User experience. UX. Also named. But because we are basically not the smartest devs out there, we're not gonna do that yet. Expired, cancelled, and then wait, I already have these things. What do we have? Declined. Something else are we missing here? Listed. Look at that. Can we? Yes. Alright, those are the filter statuses, right? Now we can do something here like I don't know, filter on status. How do we filter status? by status. Right, and then we have the select content, and then we can do something like each, I guess. How do we do each? I have no fucking clue. Wait, we can see it here. Each funding is Item value foo. I don't know. Is it status? What do you think? Is this gonna work, chat? What do you think? Am I doing this good? Can I stay? How was the marathon? I will explain how it was. That's beautiful, right? Of course, these statuses, it's a big thing. We don't want it too big, right? We filter by status. Actually, how are we gonna? It needs to be SM. Can we make this SM? Select root size. We can't. That's amazing. That's not amazing. That's bad. Can we do it here, maybe? We can't. Unfortunate. You need a label. Yeah. We need a label. But can we do this? 4 maybe? What do you think? 4 is too big. Maybe 2. Actually 3 maybe. That's much better. Filter by status. So let's see how it's gonna look with multiple statuses here, right? So let's copy this and let's paste some stuff in here. Multiple selects here. Is it gonna look good? Save. Can we save this, please? Yes, we can. Oh shit, that's gonna be, I don't know, by3. It's gonna be a flex, isn't it? It is. And I'm gonna say gap 2, maybe. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm him. But of course, it's not gonna be filtered by status, right? It's gonna be. Holy crap! Yeah, that's because yeah. Can we do this? I don't know. Wait, then we have a thing. It's not. We can't. That's select root. We can't. It's fine. Let's look as a label. Joe, that's why we need you. Because we don't know. You know what I mean? We're missing that lack of knowledge. Yeah. Blindside. So we're gonna actually mock this thing. We're gonna delete that, close this, do that, boom, boom, like this, and then we're gonna say it's gonna be filtered by period. Actually, we don't like that. We're gonna say by period, right? And then actually by date maybe, but there's no date picker yet. That's the problem. By status, something like that. Look at this. By status, by period. But Anthony, what if they wanna select multiple statuses? I know that's a big problem. That's they need to be happy with one, right? Because by the end of the day, if you use this platform as a sell site, right, which is as the requester of funding, you're not gonna have 500 funding requests sitting there. It's not gonna happen, right? That would be good because that means we made a lot of money, but that's not gonna happen. But anyway, that's bad excuse. That's a classic engineer excuse, right? You always try to find excuses so you don't need to do something. Isn't that amazing? I'm pretty good at that, by the way. So there's gonna be periods, right? Actually, to be honest, is this gonna? It's not, right? Okay, cool. And the last thing, we're gonna delete that because I don't know what's gonna be there. So the question is, are we gonna make a button here? Probably not, right? We're gonna each time they just click, it needs to do the query. Is that what we want? Ideally, this would be much smaller. To be honest, how can we fix that? Is it like this? Like, I don't know, I'm gonna try with 10, which is not gonna work. Aha. So we could do, can we do this actually? We can. Look at this. I'm legit the best. Where's this? Everything I touch, I meet us. Okay, now we need this label thing from Joe. I have no fucking clue what he means, but he can do it himself very soon. Can we do a label here? Let's do this and then say filtered by. That's a little bit unfortunate. How do they make these filters? How does it look? Svelte, git, chat, cn. cn. Is there any example we can yoink? Authentication form, playground. Ah, I see it. We could do it like, nah, I don't like this like that. Authentication, that's not what you want. Forms maybe? Account. Appearance. What is this ugly select, man? What's going on? Notifications. That's components, cards. Actually, maybe. A combo box coming soon, by the way. Select fruit. For me, grapes, please. Okay, this is not gonna help me anyway. It doesn't matter. You still don't give up and use a smaller scale out of the stream. What do you mean by that? Small scale out of the stream. Anyway, there's too much data. It's true. Let's continue here. This label is bad. Actually, to be honest, why can we not just make a diff? Because we don't know what this label is doing actually under the hood, right? I know it's gonna be semantics for HTML. Because right now we can maybe. Is that a thing actually? 2/3? It is. But still. How can we do this? Can we make it bigger? 20 maybe? It's not gonna work. This music is just. I'm gonna get banned for this music, to be honest. It's much better. Is this on GitHub? Nope. I can't. If I put this on GitHub publicly, I'm gonna go to jail for sure. The VS Code scale. But what do you mean? I need to zoom in more. I need to zoom more because you're watching from a mobile phone. Okay. Beautiful. Look at that. Especially for you, my boss. No wrap. You see, that's the knowledge I do not have. No wrap. I hope it's just gonna work like that. I don't know. No. How does it work, guys, with Tailwind? Tell me. Class. Let me see if I can get some type hints from this thing. Wrap. Flex wrap. It's too big, I mean. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm happy you say that, big guy. It's way too big, but people are complaining. You know what I mean? Because they're watching code streams on a mobile phone. That's like, what are you doing? What even is that? Why are you watching code stream on a mobile phone? And instead of basically tilting the phone, no, they use it like that, like brainless. You know what I mean? They, oh, okay, look, I cannot read it. Yeah, of course not, you idiot. Watch on a laptop. What are you doing? White space, no wrap. Look at that. It's basically my it's my chat is building a multi-billion-dollar company for me. Isn't that amazing? No wrap. No wrap. Oh! Now we need to basically send up this thing. Would be nice. Can we do that? Item senders maybe? I don't know. Item sender, is that a thing? Beautiful. Beautiful. This is actually a little bit too big, so we're gonna make this a text SM, right? Look at that. This is what we need, and maybe semi-bold. This is already much better, right? Look at it. That's already much better. Filtered by status or by period, which it's not working, but just to see how it's going to look, right? Ideally, we're going to have a date. And maybe some amount filters or something. I don't know. We don't know. This is good. White space, Snoopy, 88. Thank you. Is it responsive? Let's do not go that route. I think this is... Look, are we going to test if it's responsive? Look at this. It's going to be so worse. Look at that. Oh, it's actually not that shabby, to be honest. Look at this, guys. Auto magically is kind of... But this needs to collapse, right? This needs to collapse. This thing, this needs to collapse a little bit, right? But that's all fine-tuning for now, because... I'm gonna come up with excuses once again. I'm gonna say, yeah, but our users, they're not gonna use that on their mobile phone. Hence, that's why it's not responsive. Can you imagine saying that to your boss, to your project manager? Like, yeah, but our users are not gonna use mobile phones for this, right? I mean, you're gonna do an investment. It's a lot of money. You're gonna use it like at least a Dell laptop, you know what I mean? So that's why it's not responsive. Somebody needs to try that and let me know what he said about that. Do you build a responsive version of wrap-up? I don't know. Normally it should be responsive. I mean, if you it needs to work on a tablet. If it's good on a tablet, that's fine. Like a lot of these people use like these small, how do we call that? These Microsoft laptops with your touch. How do they call again? I don't know what it is, but it's a small thingy. But I think we'd be fine, right? Because if we collapse this thing, that just the icons are left, right? At a certain breakpoint, you see it's fine, right? And then we will see, right? If it's smaller, mobile phone, that's not gonna work, right? Because Levenue platform will not be supported on a mobile phone, because especially some kind of views have so many graphs in it, so many the buy side. I will show you. They have so many embedded graphs, visuals, that it's just nearly impossible to have a decent overview of the company you want to invest in, right? But that's also an excuse. By the end of the day, it should kind of work-ish on mobile, right? You need to support that kind of a way, because otherwise that could be problematic. Anyway, so we have these things. So how are we going to do that? I have no clue. This is not going to work right now. It doesn't matter. I really want this to be smaller, but I have no clue how we do that. Can we check this real quick? Select. You see, this is smaller, right? Content. What is this API? Primitive API. I don't like what? Look at this. What is the arrow size? The height and width of the arrow in pixels. I don't. Why should I care about this arrow size, guys? What even is that? I care about the overall height of this thing. It would be cool to have these in colors, to be honest, right? I think we can. I have some what is it called? It's status. Look at that. Status, batch. Look at this. Funding. Request status batch. and I think I need to have status. We don't need this because is this gonna work? I would be so happy here, to be honest. And we're gonna say status equals status, right? Save. What do you think, chat? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I think the OLEP is a bit limited. Yeah, it is. It's kind of limited, but like I said, it's fine, right? Okay, if it's too, for me, I think it's too big. But by the end of the day, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine. You know, it's good. I don't like this this status badge here, to be honest. What's that? It's weird. It's too much colors. You know what I mean? People can get elliptical seizures and all that stuff. We don't want that. So we're just gonna keep it simple here, and we're gonna use status and call it day. All right. So now we're gonna do the request to the Golang backend. That's what you actually want to see, right? That's what it is. Once we have these two hooked up, we can do whatever we want later on. Right? We can change, we can position it where we want, and yada 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 yada. So the first thing we need is we need to find a trigger, right? So what you could do is could make a button, right? So you could do something like this. That's the most simple option. It's like you make a button here like that, right? Button. I'm gonna say filter. You know what I mean? Filter. Boom. Save this. Problem is that button is not being found. How to solve that? It's very simple. You delete this. You press button again. You wait until it pops up. You press tab, and it's done. You see? So then you have a filter, and you can click filter. But that's nasty in my opinion. That's the old school way, right? Expired, and then you select the period. Let me quickly fix this period. You don't need a label. Let's do this const periods. Filter statuses. It needs to be status filters. That's much better, isn't it? And then we can say period filters. That's better, right? And we're gonna say what's going on here? 12. Let's do 3, 6, yeah, and then 12, right? Something like that. We can do the same thing. There's gonna be status filters. With the big F. Period filters. Period. Look, I'm talking like a girl. I'm not gonna lie. Right. And then this, and then you click filter, and then you do the request, and then you return what's coming back. Right. That's an option. And to let you know what I mean with these. With the height of this thing. So first of all, you need to what are we doing right now? That could be you, right? That could be you. You could work in a company where you're a full stack developer and they ask you, listen, we have this list, right? But we wanna filter that on statuses, right? Go and fix it. It basically means you need to go into the front end to come up with some kind of a filter system, right? And then you need to come up with how you're gonna do that in the backend. That's what we're doing right now, right? So I love to think about the options here, and for example, instead of going on Slack, DMing your PM, DMing your boss, DMing somebody else, hey, what kind of things do we need? How you just come up with something. That's what I'm looking for in my company, in the company I work for, my next company where I work for. It's complex, but I'm looking for somebody who said, listen, guy, we have this table, right? Go and add some filters. Yeah, but what kind of filters? Go and add some filters, man. I don't care. Find something out. Are we gonna filter on amount? That would be savage. You know what I mean? On subscriptions? No, nobody cares. On the period, that could be interesting. Created on the time, that could be interesting. On the status, that could also be interesting. So go ahead and fix that, right? And then you're gonna implement that scuffed or semi-scuffed. You come back, and then we're gonna see, hey, that looks kind of good, right? That's fine for now. Or no, maybe we should do this, and then we engineer together. You know what I mean? That's actually the process. No need for a ticket. No need for some screenshots and no. Not needed. Is this your day job? Yeah. Well, these fucking flies. My day job is much more than this, right? But I don't care, right? Even though they call me the CTO, this fly is risking his life, and I give him one more chance to leave the room without violence. Because I'm sick and tired of this thing, and I think they are with 2 here. I have no clue what's going on, but there are so many flies this year. I have no clue where they come from. Don't they need to go into some kind of a winter sleep? Of course, but it's 25 degrees outside. You know what I mean? You can basically burn yourself if you're too long outside in October. Can you imagine that? Halloween is coming and people need to put on the sunburn. That's crazy. What's happening? What's happening with the world? But there is no climate problem. No. It's no climate problem. My kids don't even know what snow is, right? Snow. They don't know it. They see it from television. They never seen snow in their fucking life. They're 10. Well, my daughter, she's 10, but she knows snow. But my son is 6. He never seen this amount of snow. That's for him. That's a surrealistic image. That's only in the movies. When I was young, man, snow was in the winter was crazy. But now, no problem at all. We're calling it the climate crisis, exactly, right? There's a problem. Not quite sure if it's a crisis of the climate. We don't know, but things are I don't know. Things are off. You know what I mean? I'm 36, and I'm 36 years, actually 37 almost, on this planet, and I see the shifting. Can you imagine that? I can already. I'm noticing it at only, to be honest, 37 years. Speaking on a global scale, like that's on seeing the Earth, seeing the climate change. That's a very short period of time. Normally, these changes happen at thousands, 10,000s of years, right? Then you can see temperatures rising after so many. But now, I can already notice it only after 37 years. Can you imagine if we do another 100 years on top of this? Man. And the Spiritus Sanctus. Because things are going to be very nasty. Trust me. Anyway. Yeah, where I'm from, it's 35 in October. Yeah, normally here it's already cold. But it's not. Alright, so let's go back to the problem here. So we have 2 solutions. We can come up with a lazy solution, which is this filter button here. But I think because it's Golang, Svelte, let's just change this actually if we click here, right? So another problem is that what I already did in the backend, because I am basically a visionary, right? I already knew that it's in funding a request in data here, right? We have something that is called get funding requests, which is basically accepts an account ID and a couple of an array of funding request statuses. Why are we doing these 3 dots here? Well, because then we have the option. Let's go to seed here. Actually, handlers. Here, handle get funding request. So you see what we do here is basically we only specify the account ID, but we have the option to provide statuses, but we are not obligated to do that. Some people think it's nasty, some people love it. It's the way of life. Some people hate it, some people love it. I love it. So if we do this, for example, right? So let's open this. Let's do a types.funding request status. Very verbose name, innit? Accepted, for example. That's very verbose, right? Funding request status accepted. But the biggest idiot on that planet understands what this thing is, right? It's a funding request status, which is accepted. You know what I mean? No discussion, right? There is no discussion here. And I do this. I'm not doing this for my colleagues. I'm doing this for myself, so I know later on what's going on here. 1 hour. Okay, we're gonna do 1 hour and a half stream, or 2 hours maybe. It depends, because I need to eat and I also need to play League of Legends, and I also need to manage a team. I'm playing Garen top and I'm doing pretty fine. I didn't play for 2 years and people are still bad at this game. I can play with my eyes closed and carry the game. You know what I mean? It's easy. Maybe we should play on stream. I was thinking about that, but the problem is, am I going to rape my own channel if I play games on my stream? Do I need to make another YouTube channel? And then maybe, but do we want to invest time in another channel? It's like, also, yeah. I don't know, but it would be fine. I know a lot of people play League of Legends here, so we could play a game together, right? You could also learn. You could buy my League of Legends course. Imagine that. Anyway, so if we do this, guys, here, this funding request status accepted, and we're gonna kill this, make again. Look at that. It's easy. Right? Try to do that with another framework. It's not gonna happen. Golang it is. Now we have only accepted. Isn't that beautiful? Actually, something I don't like is when you hover this thing. That's a bug, right? That's somebody is going to make a ticket for this. But we are high value engineers. What we're gonna do is we're gonna basically prevent them to create a ticket by fixing it already. I don't know why it is. It's something in this UI lib. So I think that's gonna be here real quick, right? That's in this list. Look at that. You need to juggle with your terminals and with your multiple editors open and all that stuff. That's what you need to do. It's this thing. It's this thing. Format, this thing. Status, funding. So it's this funding request status batch. Let's go into this, right? GD, go to definition, into this thing. And then we're gonna have this. Ooh. Throw invalid. This is nasty, but I don't care. It could be a switch statement. I don't care. You know what I mean? It works. It's fine. Return BG green. Why are we basically... Why do we need to... Why in the hell do we need to have a hover state here? That is the same as this. Why? Look at that. Now it's gonna work perfectly fine. Look at this. Now it's staying. I don't understand that. Why is this lib doing that? So now we have a big problem, because what we need to do now is doing this everywhere. This is so nasty. If somebody knows a fix for this, let me know. But it's fine. Quick and dirty fix sometimes. Hover, BG, red 500. Why do we not do BG destructive? It's fine. Red 500, always a good color. The same thing here. Hover, BG, amber 500. Like I said, this is nasty, but we need to do that because for some reason, if we hover it, it's changing colors. This is gray. 500 shades. Right? Oh my god, you're giving me... Why, Joey? Why? Hover none. That's a good idea. Pointer events none. Guys, I don't know this. Like I said, I don't know. I need to buy a course. I don't know all this stuff. Because I am not a Svelte kit front-end engineer. At least I'm trying to infer and solve problems. And it works. Who cares? It's fine. Guys. It's all fine. It's all good. It doesn't matter. It's good. We're fine. We are at equilibrium. You should hire Joe already. We are hiring Joe already. That's already been taken care of. Right? So a lot of people come to my channel and they say, how can I get a job? You need to be proactive. You know what I mean? You need to be proactive. I have 4,000 people on my Discord channel, and I can only count 3, 4, or 5 people from those 4,000 that are proactively saying useful stuff to me in a DM or whatever, on stream, or helping me or whatever, proactively, consistently. 5 out of 5,000, 4,000 people. That's the difference between finding opportunities or not, right? That's the difference between finding opportunities or not. And guys, to be honest, like, if I will create this status list myself, you know, this is just stream content. I don't care about this list. If this list is not in V2, nobody cares. You know what I mean? We don't even have a filter list in V1. That doesn't exist. We don't have a list in V1. So, you know what I mean? This is already an improvement, right? But I'm building this because it's easy, kind of easy. It's some content on stream, we can talk, and then I can do stuff, and it's fine. You know what I mean? It's like the hard part is how these auctions work and data structures and all that shenanigans coming in. Engineering how Levenue works internally. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? That's actually my main job, right? That's my main job. Making sure that the system works, because it's complex. It's complex because we need to connect your bank account. We need to connect with your subscription managers. We need to calculate how many subscriptions. Let's say you do a funding request, right? Let's say you do a funding request of 100,000. We need to go and find subscriptions. The amount of subscriptions needs to be higher than 100k, and then we need to have backup subscriptions, and we need to filter out the subscriptions that are least likely going to churn, and then we need to put them in certain status, and then it's complex. We do complex stuff. Trust me. Word on the street is you make less than 80k. What do you expect from Discord? That's true, Brunkel. But I'm just saying, right, that people say, I cannot get a job. What do you think that if you're going to make your resume and you're going to send that? I already told you on stream what happened with your resumes, right? Nobody cares about resumes, you know what I mean? I don't care, right? It's all about finding opportunities by communicating with people, proactively communicating with people, and not communicating in the way like, hey Anthony, I see you're working on Levenue, yada yada yada, maybe you could hire me, this is my resume, or this is what I'm. No, that's your route. I don't like that. But just like I'm working on a project in my stream, you see me suffering with some stuff, or you see that I'm doing things wrong, or not wrong, but maybe not the most efficient way, which is most likely what I'm doing all the time, right? Because it's not easy to think and come up with solutions on the fucking fly while basically 100 people are looking at your face asking questions, you know what I mean? And then you go into my Discord and you say, hey, listen, this is what I have, I made this for you, you could do it this, and you're basically helping me that, and you do that over a consistent point of time. At a certain point, I'm gonna say, wait a minute, this guy is actually, he helped me so good, and we have the same mindset, and you're the first on my list. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But there is a hiring freeze. There is no hiring freeze. There is it was just an overhiring happening, right? And it's all it's all with the VCs is the cause of all evil, right? They dumped too much money into startups, and startups the first thing they did was hire a bunch of people doing a bunch of complex stuff that were basically not needed, right? There are a lot of people, basically indie entrepreneurs that make more money than 25 size companies. You know what I mean? Firing is very important, right? You always, actually, I think as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, each day you need to think, who can I fire to save up money? You need to think about, who can I hire so I can fire 2 people? Yeah, but these people also have a house and I don't care. You know what I mean? Why should you care? But they're people, yeah, true, but it's a business. You know what I mean? It's your family or them. It's your kids having food or other people's kids having food. At the ideal world, we all have food, right? But business is business, and people forget that, right? Like these if you see on the news, like, oh, this company, big company is firing 5,000 people. And everybody is, whoa, these motherfuckers, they're firing 5,000 people. They will all be on the street. First of all, they were probably the worst. And second, this company has basically maybe 20,000 people working. So if they don't, actually maybe 50,000 people working. So if they don't fire 10,000 people, basically the company goes bankrupt and then 50,000 people have no food. It's the difference between 10,000 people or 50,000 people. So it's a double, how do you say that? Double-edged sword. Double-edged knife. A company needs to make money, and as a good business owner, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna say, okay, cool, who can I hire so I can fire 2 people? Ideally, who can I hire so I can fire 3 people? The less people, the fucking better it is. Look at Twitter, right? Twitter is the most best example you can have. Elon buys that stuff, and the first thing he does is basically fire almost everyone. Ciao, Bella. Vamos a la playa. And then, oh, I'm fired. I'm fired by Twitter. Ooh, yeah. What do you think? If you were the best, if you were the most engaged person, the most productive person, proactive person on the fucking company, do you think you were gonna get fired? No. So you need to work on your productivity. Not only productivity, but your basically person as a whole, right? And you can be a very good engineer, but if you're a bad communicator, or you're basically a bad whatever, not creative, yeah, you're gonna get on the street, baby. On the street, time for something new. Anyway, we are basically going off track. What's 550? What do you mean by 550? 450? What is that? $450K? Man, if you 550 a day. Can somebody give me some context on the 550, 450 thing? Because I have no clue what's going on. You either get out or get out. It is what it is. Like I said, sometimes you need to be harsh, man. People say, you're so hard, but yeah, what do you think? Why I have an arrow read? What's going on? I did some stuff and I have no fucking clue what this is. I made a big mistake. It's this one. I can see it already. Day price freelance. Yeah, I cannot calculate because I'm not the smartest kid on the block. 550 times what is 20 work days. That's 110K. That's not true. That's 11,000 a month. Yeah. In dollars or euros. What are we talking about here? Isn't the euro the same as the dollar lately? I don't know. I think that if you're an experienced developer, you should earn this amount of money. 700. Actually, maybe 750. 50k a month. Woof! In the back. You know what I mean? And then you have these guys on Twitter, right? You have these solopreneurs. Oh, they are basically grinding and hustling and choking to get 10k a month, and then they brag about it on Twitter. Like, oh yes, after 5 years, I finally have 10k MMR for my company, and they need to work so hard for it with a lot of stress and a lot of churn and users and problems. And then you as an engineer, you work 20 days a month, probably working 5 hours a day because nobody fucking knows what you're doing, right? And you make 50k a month, each month. That is crazy. This is crazy, right? This is amazing. So, for example, I don't know, you can buy a fucking Porsche. You can buy 2 Porsches, but because what does it cost to rent a Porsche to buy a Porsche monthly if you want to lease that thing, right? It's probably like a Porsche or something else. Why can I not type in this thing? What's going on here? It's basically, for example, it's going to be, I don't know, 1500, right? And you have two cars like that. Actually, to be honest, let's make you have 2k5. What can you buy with this? 2,500 a month. What can you lease with that car? With that amount of money? That's going to be an insane car, you know what I mean? That's probably going to be almost a Ferrari. But yeah, you need gas and all that stuff. Let's say something crazy, you know what I mean? Some crazy car. M5, fully decked out, special color, wrapped in a color that basically in Vanta Black. You know, guys, do you know what Vanta Black is? Vanta Black. This is crazy. This is look at this, guys. A Vanta Black. This is the biggest. This is the most black color on the planet. It's Vanta Black, which basically means that nobody when it's dark, nobody sees that thing. It's like it's just headlights, you see. It's crazy. Vanta Black. That's fucking crazy, right? So you can buy, you probably can just have a Ferrari or something like 2k, and then you have 2 of these cars, you know what I mean? That's basically 4k a month on the most badass cars on the planet. But that's easy because you're earning 50,000. You know what I mean? You're earning 50,000 here. And then you do it less 4k, you know what I mean? Then you still have above 10k a month, man. This is crazy. This is insane. Oh, taxes. Yeah, of course taxes, but that doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Who cares? Who fucking cares about taxes? You will find something else, you know what I mean? That's why you need to buy these cars and do some stuff. Go to fucking Dubai and you don't pay anything, you know what I mean? The more taxes you pay, the more successful you are. So then you need to find a solution, you know what I mean? Taxes is a scam, right? If you pay a lot of taxes, you're doing it wrong. That doesn't matter. Then you still have you still earn more than your whole family. It's crazy. An engineer it's the best life, you know what I mean? Can you imagine earning 18k a month? Like this one. Something like this. I don't know what it is with this thing in Google. It's crazy. Like this thing. There's a month. Times 12. There's 200. You can buy a house a year. You can buy houses each year. It's crazy. Like I said, hey, watch videos, learn. Buy my course, whatever the fuck. It's the mentality. It's not only the course, because some people say, I think I have like 4 or 5. I still need to refund people. I'm going to be completely honest here. I think I have 4 or 5 refunds, but people say, hey, it's not for me. I can totally agree on that, because I don't give you the fish. You know what I mean? I don't give you the fish one-on-one. I give you a way to catch the fish. I give you the mentality, the thinking process, the way of acting, and that's basically what you need to do. And you're gonna make that amount of money after a long time. You know, it's not gonna be at year one. You will probably be my age. You know, you'll probably be 35, mid 30s, and then you will earn that money, so you can buy your Ferrari. But that would be stupid. A Ferrari, that's a waste of money, right? Never do that again. Just buy a cool car, you know what I mean? Have a good car, a beautiful sports car, a lot of horsepower, beautiful color, a pussy wagon, that's fine. But you need to save a lot of money and invest it well, right? Invest it well, that's important. Don't waste your money. How much do you get paid? A lot. A lot. But I also have Patreon, and I also have YouTube, and I also have my course. So you can imagine that I'm actually still no millionaire. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Still no millionaire. Still not. Do I want to be one? I don't know. Probably not. So DHH is stupid. Why would DHH be stupid? Tell me. DHH is basically one. I think it's your biggest example you can have as an engineer. I think a lot of people hate DHH, but I think it's your best role model in the whole tech space. It's the most hated person, but it's your best example on how you need to do stuff. It's the best example how to run a company. It's the best example on how to write software. And people say that's not true. That's your opinion, but you're broke and he's not. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You're broke. Whole tech is basically broke, right? All these complainers, but he is not, right? He's driving fucking sports cars every fucking day of the week. He has a beautiful wife, and his office is insanely. This view is crazy. I'm just saying, right? Who do you want to follow? Some broke ass tech influencer or DHH? Up to you. The man is loaded, so that's already respectable. Yeah, it is, but the problem is he is not getting any respect on the community, which is he is the GOAT, man. Let's be honest, he is the fucking GOAT. He made it, right? He fucking made it. Don't. It's every fucking successful unicorn startup is running on his fucking software he made. Maybe not anymore, because they scaled so hard that they basically moved to another stack. But the first years, the most important years of that company, the most important years of these unicorn startups, they are all written in, most of them are all written in Ruby on Rails, and he created that with his mentality, right? With his mindset of programming. No types, no TypeScript, no React. That made billion-dollar companies. And out of these billion-dollar companies, a lot of billionaires were born. Not one, not two, but hundreds of companies. And now the tech community is criticizing DHH on his opinions. Let that sink in, right? Let that sink in. Go ahead. Keep believing in your ideas. Keep believing in what you think is the best practice. But you are broke and he's not. Right? You are counting line numbers, but he's counting money. That's the difference between you and him. Anyway. Can you explain the concept of Levenue? I can do that. Let's do that. Excalibur. The concept of Levenue. Varself is this. Guys, for the people that want to learn JavaScript, the most important thing you need to know as a JavaScript developer is Varself is this. What do you think about the new Svelte update? I have no clue. Svelte runes. Well, let's do that first, actually, because I saw that. Svelte runes. What is that? Introducing runes. Let's see what it is, because I have no fucking clue. Alright. Introducing runes. Rethinking reactivity. That's already a very complex thing. And you know I'm a simple man. Alright, on this page. Okay, cool. Wait, before we begin, that's actually... Alright. Even though we are changing how things work under the hood, Svelte 5 should be a drop-in replacement for almost everyone. Nice. The new features are opt-in. Your existing components will continue to work. I like that. Opt-in, that's what we want, right? Opt-in. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for in a girlfriend. I want opt-in. Right? Which basically is, keep everything what you have, don't change anything, but just get some extra whenever you want to opt in. That's what I want. That's what the perfect relationship should be, right? One direction. We don't yet have a release date, yada yada. Okay, what are runes? Yeah. Pronouncing a letter of yeah. Runes are a symbol that influences the Svelte compiler. Okay, cool. Very important here for your exam. Runes are symbols that influence the Svelte compiler. So that basically, if I see this, if I read this, that's already where a lot of problem in, not only in frameworks, but also in programming languages come, or born. Why? Because the more simpler your programming language is, the more simpler your framework is, the easier it is to onboard new people, and the easier it is to understand what's going on and to master it. Of course, a big mistake a lot of these programming language creators, Rust, TypeScript, VLang, and all that stuff. Odin maybe is also also has a little. In my country they say a broertje aan dood. You know what I mean? A brother on death or something. Brother death. That means yeah. I know. It's look it up. Right? Translate, Google, ChatGPT, and figure it out. The thing is that like I read this, runes are a symbol that influences the Svelte compiler. Is like introducing magic to produce magic, and that's bad. Anyway, we will see. Where Svelte today uses let, yada yada, the export keyword and the label, the $sign is to basically how do you call that? Reactive values, right? To mean specific things. Runes use function syntax to achieve the same thing and more. That's actually good, right? So yeah. For example, to declare a piece of reactive state, we can use state. Oh boy. This smells like hooks. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? So I can, Khan Cuscu, he told me like you can still use the old way without the runes because they are complicated. Well, that's exactly what's happening. So Svelte is already a very powerful thing, and I think the reactive values and all the stuff you can do, I love it. I really love it. It's a little bit of the first hour, it's a little, the first couple wiggly waggly, and the framework is going to be a little bit because we are used to React and Angular. But once you understand reactive values and how SvelteKit or Svelte in general works, you're relieved. But now they introduce abstractions to make things more convenient, but also more complicated. That's the biggest mistake they do. I think runes, if I see it right now, is a very bad decision they did. Yeah, this could actually kill it. This sounds very weird, right? That I say this because I didn't actually read the whole thing, but anyway, let's see. Okay, so let count as this. We're gonna change that to state. Yeah, so we don't. Yeah, So it's a reactive thing, right? State 0, it's going to infer this value, right? It's going to say it's going to be an integer, a number, whatever you want to call it. All right. At first glance, this might seem a little bit step back, perhaps. And Svelte-like, exactly. It's more React-like. Isn't it better if let count is reactive by default? Well, no. The reality is that as applications grow in complexity, figuring out which values are reactive and which aren't can get tricky. That's true. From a compiler's perspective, from the framework itself, it can be complex, especially and performance sensitive. And the heuristic only works for let declarations at the top level of component, true, which can cause confusion. Okay. Having code behave one way inside .svelte files and another side can make it harder to refactor code, true. For example, if you need to turn something into a store so that you can use it in multiple places. But that's the thing, right? Everything you make in a framework, you're not going to solve everything. That's impossible, right? You cannot solve all the problems we would like to have solved in a front-end framework. That's impossible. So what they are trying to do is solving more and more and more and more, and before you know, you have the most complex framework in the fucking world. Nobody's going to use it anymore because it's too complex. Companies don't want you to use it because it's too complex. And then everybody's using React, and we're all going to be depressed. But Joe, I'm a Joe, has his opinion. He said this. Yeah, okay, Joe. I'm gonna see. Right. This is my first. I'm basically dumping my brain as I read this. These are my narratives. These are my experiences. My brain. This is what I tell you is what I think. That's not the thing that's gonna be, right? It's just what I think, right? Beyond components, with Room's reactivity extends beyond the boundaries of your .svelte files. Suppose we wanted to encapsulate or counter logic in a way that could be reused between components. Today, you would use a custom store. True. I like stores. Yes, create counter. That's exactly what we do also. What I do, yeah. We create this counter, right? And then we can create two counters. Counter for the amount of Tinder likes, which is going to be very less, and the amount of whatever. So you can create two counters with the same code here, and it's just going to do the same thing, count. Because if you use the same store without creating it actually, you know what I mean? Yeah, then you're going to have a duplicated state, right? You're going to have a merged state. So, but this is all changes here. Because let count is state. Okay, I see. That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. So that basically means that we are still going to use stores, but for these bigger objects, for example, a user or something, like a general user object or some settings, for example. I think settings is maybe the perfect example here. You have an application, a user has settings, a theme or something, and you're gonna fetch these settings from your database, and you're gonna store them in a store. And you can make your own functions inside of these stores, or you're just gonna set and update, call it directly like Svelte standard stuff. But for these simple state, but I think it's a bad example because it's just a counter. You know what I mean? This is the I think they really need to stop with these examples and of these frameworks where they're gonna use the counter as an example to showcase their state management. There's like a counter, guys. It's fucking nothing. Who cares? This is not the real deal. In a real case scenario, you're gonna have much more complex stuff, and then you're choking because they learned you how to make a counter. They should use better examples for this. Because you can make count, so you don't need actually use a store for count. you just make it reactive. You know what I mean? Just make count reactive. Let count is 0, and then you make a reactive value. You don't even you don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see this runtime reactivity. Width, height. Yeah, exactly, right? This is the area. You make it reactive, so each time width changes or height changes, your area is going to get recomputed, right? Works with a function. What the hell is this? This works well until it doesn't. What do you mean by that? Okay. Area. How do we derived? More complexity. Effect. I don't know what the fuck that is. Are they making React? What is this? Are they basically just making React? I was so happy that we could get away from use effect and then use whatever, use this, use that, use state, use memo, use all this bullshit, and now they're gonna bring it back in. This makes no sense. What is this? Yeah, counter is not a... Man, how full of yourself can you be? Frank Verstraeten, explain what you mean by that so we can actually respond on that. What am I saying here? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think effect is something we already had, right? Effect is new, or not. Do I miss this? That brings effect and derived to checks. That's exactly what I think also. But at least you don't have use memo and use callback and use effect at the same time. Yeah, that's true, but it looks like we are getting there. It looks like we are getting there. What's going on here? Effect is new. That's what I thought. Yeah. Oscar Torres, what's up, boss? Okay, Frank is gone. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay, so where is then the good stuff? Where is the good news? There is no good news. So this is actually the worst thing happen ever. Right? This is the worst that they could do, in my opinion. Because now I don't know anymore. Okay, derived effect, they determine the dependencies of their expressions when they are evaluated, okay? They need it for state. We need to test this out, Joe. We need to test this out. We need to play around with these things, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan because, like, if I would do something like this, yeah, like I said, I would just use this, right? I mean, I would actually, to be honest, how I do this all the time. Where is this area thing? Hey, this is what I do, right? This is what I use. Most of the time, I'm gonna use this. Area is width times height. Right, it's going to be reactive and it's going to work perfectly fine. I don't know why it should be. Maybe this can come up with performance problems later on if you have a big shit ton of these things. I don't know. Frank Verstappen, he's too dumb for React. He's mad that this is becoming React because he doesn't understand React. Cool. Happy for you, Frank. Happy for you, my man. This is how we do this, right? This is what I would do. Of course, this is also fine. You can check out the Svelte 5 preview with a link somewhere in the blog page. Yeah, but it's fine. I don't know, when are they planning to release this? What's going on here? I heard this on this page. The music stopped. Let's do it again. Because was Svelte 4 not just released actually a couple months ago? Are they coming up with 5 already? I think they are still gathering opinions from the files. He's back again. Alian, what up, man? What up, boss? I think they are still gathering opinions from the community as well. Yeah. I don't know. Does somebody know what the community is responding on this? What site do you use for loyalty-free music? Artlist. Artlist.io. Royalty-free music. Otherwise, YouTube comes with the fucking demonetization all the time, right? You can just whistle a song, a popular song, and it's detecting that. It's crazy. I'm actually very like I said, I don't feel it. But that's because, like Frank already mentioned, because I'm too dumb for React, that's true. But I probably earn 10 times more than you know what I mean? But it's fine. Frank, listen, it's fine, man. Hey. We all know, we are all here to learn, it's fine. It's all good. But that's probably, yeah, that's actually true because I don't understand, right? I don't understand why these things could benefit, right? We will see. Happy to learn. Happy to learn. I haven't experienced that myself, yada yada, because it removes a bunch of issues from my understanding. Yeah, it will. I think there are a lot of issues with if you make a project and you put your project full of these things, full of these reactive values here. I don't know whether these things, wait, this area thing, and it will cause a lot of problems. That's true. We don't know because we don't, like the project that I'm building, we don't use a lot of these things, right? It's just a couple things. But if you have big, because we never finish a project anyway, so, but if you have a big project and you use a lot of these things, that could be a problem. So we need to check that. Somebody asked, what do you think of React? I think React of Angular or Svelte, it's whatever you prefer. From a business perspective, I think React should be in favor of all the rest because of the popularity and the ecosystem and the amount of experience people have in that, right? And let us be honest, React works perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Notion and all that stuff is written in that, I think. Yeah. So React is pretty fine. Svelte is fine. Angular, they're all fine. There is no such thing as the best framework or the baddest framework. It's all about what do you like to write in. You know what I mean? There are people that love Angular, there are people that love React, there are people that love Svelte. Right? So there's no best pick. But in my opinion, from a company owner perspective, and you're gonna decide on which stack you're gonna make for hiring and for ecosystem and all that stuff. Maybe React is gonna have the win there, unless you're technical yourself and you wanna use Svelte, and you can use Svelte. It's pretty fine. Yeah, there's pros and cons to all of them. That's correct, right? Pros and cons for all of them. And what do you think about TypeScript and DHH removing TypeScript from Turbo 8? If these guys are not happy writing TypeScript, yeah, and they remove it, that's their thing, right? It doesn't affect anybody, right? Just themselves, the team that's working on it. That's the only thing that affects it, right? The people using that library doesn't really matter. You can use TypeScript and use Turbo 8, doesn't really matter. It depends on what you want. I'm glad I talked some sense into you. Like I said, Frank, if you're probably not subscribed yet or something, or you don't know me, but most of the time there is not coming a lot of sense out of me. That's something you need to understand. Please pay me my hourly wage of 120, man. But Frank Verstraeten, I thought, didn't you have a disco or something? You know what I mean? I thought you were like a club owner. Hey, I think you're a club owner and you have an IT business. I think Frank Verstraeten has an IT business. Let Frank, how do you say Verstraeten? Look at this guy. He's a business owner, man. But of course, this is not him, right? This is not the guy on the chat. But the two things can happen. Or it's his nickname. Like, for example, somebody calls himself like Tom Cruise, but he's not Tom Cruise, but you know what I mean? So he's calling himself Frank Verstraeten, but he's not Frank Verstraeten, but he wants to represent him as a meme. You know what I mean? But to be honest, Frank Verstraeten, he was a fucking legend, man. It's crazy. He fucked the most beautiful girls, and he was small, just like me. So he gives me hope that small people can have beautiful girls, which is exactly what I did. Look at him. He's so small, but he was fucking rich. He was even beaten up. Look at him. And it was her fault even, right? It was her fault. She hired people. No, she was in the thing, in the complot. And she beat him up. And then he went to jail. Because he did a lot of fraud. Fraud, you know what I mean? You see, go to jail, Frank Verstraeten, boom. But now he's successful again. Now he's this guy here. And now he's successful again. Amazing! As a backend developer, I choose Svelte because it looks simple, but Svelte 5. Yeah, Svelte 5, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on with Svelte 5. I will call Richard Harris and I'm going to say, guy, what the fuck are you doing? You're making things too complex for simple people like me. Why? Finally, I could break out of the red panties by using Svelte and understand everything what happens because like I said, Frank has right. I don't understand anything about use memo or all these hooks. These are too complex for me. Use state, that's the only hook I know. And use effect. And all the rest, I don't fucking know how it works. And now Svelte came, and everything made sense to me. Finally, I could be a successful front-end engineer. And now they introduce runes, which reminds me on React, which reminds me on how incompetent of a developer I was back then. That makes me sad. He couldn't start his own company until 2017. Yeah, it's true because he was, this guy, but it was a legend, man. If you see, you can see the movie, Zillion, the Zillion movie. It was an amazing movie. I love it. One of my friends say the movie is bad. I said, what the fuck? If you think the Zillion movie is bad, we cannot be friends. I'm sorry. DHH doesn't like types. Yeah. I think types are very important, right? We use TypeScript here because I think types are important, but you make it as complex as you want, right? I see the most crazy TypeScript types and stuff you can do because it's don't underestimate TypeScript. It's a very, very, very powerful language. It's very powerful, but with a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility. And that's the problem. And TypeScript is not bad of a language at all. But people hate it because it's not true. People hate TypeScript because they don't understand it. Just like me. We don't understand some certain things. But I'm always thinking from a business perspective. If I have a team of 20 people and of these 20 people, there is some guy that makes the most insane TypeScript generics thing, so that there cannot be a bug at all. Because this type is crazy. It's a 4-page type. It's a 100-line type. A lot of people will be very depressed because they have no fucking clue. If they hover a type in TypeScript, if they're gonna hover this thing, and they're gonna see let revenue type is a 100-line big type, what it could be, but it's basically a chameleon. It could be any fucking color of the world. They're gonna be very depressed and very confused, because then they're gonna GD into this type. They're gonna go to definition, and then they need to go to definition, and they need to go back into a go to definition, into a go to definition, into a go to definition, and before they know, they go to definition into 100 pages, and they still don't know what the type is. That's the problem with TypeScript, right? That's the most problem with it. So if you make your types very simple, like any, it's good. Anyway. The concept of Levenue. That's the last thing we're gonna cover, and then I'm gonna eat my fucking steak and play League of Legends the whole fucking night long, because I'm sick and tired. Anyway, Xcali draw. Where is this thing? Do we have Xcali draw? We don't. Frank Prestrado. And then these runes. Man, Xcali draw. Far south is this. So, okay, so basically, let's say, no, we gotta do that. You are a person, right? You are a person, but what's going on here? You went to the gym here. Whoa, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry what happened here. This is not my intention at all. This is no dick at all. It isn't. I just accidentally picked the wrong drawing tool. I'm so sorry. Bob Ross would say it's not a mistake. It was a little happy accident. So, why is this? Anyway, you're a user, right? And you have a company, right? You made a company, and your company is called Milk. Right. And what you do with Milk is you sell a platform where people can subscribe, and you will deliver milk every day. Fresh milk. Where you milk that from, I have no fucking clue. That's something that's business details, right? It's milk. It's whitish, right? So you make a company, Milk. You're gonna have a couple of users, right? Users. I know this is going to be a very boring story, but we need to have the context here for the boys. We need to have the context. And you're going to deliver milk to your users, right? You can see that I'm an ex-Calidra professional. So if you want to hire me to give presentations, business inquiries, you can find my email in the descriptions, right? And they're going to pay you, for example, they're going to pay you, let's say, 10 euro, dollar, rupees, whatever, a month, right? Let's do euros, dollars. How do you write dollar? Do we need to do it prefixed here? Like I said, I'm a very simple man. Didn't went to school. $10, right? I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste that here, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make one more user here. Paste it in. Actually, what's going on? I can't. Let's do this. Yes. Control C, V, paste that in, put it in here. So we have 5 users, right? This is what we call, what you have right now is what we call a SaaS company. Actually, it's not true. Because SaaS is software as a service, and you're actually delivering milk, which is no software. You know what I mean? We're gonna call this, you have recurring revenue. That's what we're gonna say. Recurring. That's what we call XaaS. Very popular in these current times. And X stands for anything. Anything as a service, which basically means a subscription model. That's the new times. People, back in the day, people bought something. Right now, they subscribe. Netflix, accounting software, food, right? Like these gym, whatever. You can subscribe to it, right? These things here is recurring revenue, right? So let's take a step back, right? It's very important here. Let's take a step back. As you make a company, right? You have 5 users, right? So now, what do you want to do as a company owner? You want to grow, right? This is what you have right now, 5 users, okay? You want to actually grow, right? So what you're going to do is going to say, you want to grow. Yeah, grow. That basically means you want to go from 5 users to 100 to 10,000 to millions of users. You're going to deliver your milk. But how do you grow as a company? Well, you need to hire more people, right? You need to hire more people. You need to do some better marketing or more expensive marketing, all that stuff. That costs money, right? But the only thing you have is basically $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, right? This basically means that if you have $50 a month, let's take out the calculator, it's going to be 12 times 50. That's going to be 600. Quick math. I cannot, like I said, I have the most dyslexic thing. I cannot calculate anything. Put me in front of a shopping cashier or something, and people, I need to change 1 cent or something. I'm going to choke. I cannot do it, and I will never. I have ADHD. You know, I just cannot do that. I can't. Like I said, I'm stupid. Anyway. So it's basically 600 a year. So let's say we are January right now, right? That basically means that by the end of January, you're gonna have, it's very important, guys, that you understand this. You're gonna have $50, right? By the end of the month. But you want to grow. So you want to hire and all that stuff. Let's say you need $200. You can't. Why? Because you only have 50. Why? Because it's January. So when do you have these 200? Well, 4 months from now. So you need to wait 4 months so you can have $200. So you can hire, of course it's going to be more, but like I said, you want to do some marketing, I don't know, you want to pay some logo or something, whatever, right? Just imagine, these numbers are going to be way bigger, but this is just for simple people like me. So that's a problem. So what do companies do? They ask for funding to VCs, right? Venture capitalists, VCs, venture capital. This is the most detailed explanation I'm gonna give. This is crazy. I need to record this and send that basically to people of Levenue so everybody knows what we actually solve, what problem we solve, right? So you're gonna go for venture capital. You're gonna say, listen, VC, I have 5 users. I'm selling milk, by the way. I have 5 paying customers. So that means that my milk is good. It's traction, it's validation. People want to buy my milk. But I need more money so I can grow my fucking company and get rich. So venture capital is gonna say, hey, it's fine. We're gonna give you, for example, here we're gonna give you 2 million. We're gonna give you 2 million, but in return for these 2 million, we want to have a piece of your company. How can we fill this thing? Sloppiness. Is that the thing what we want? It's not. How do we do this? How do we do this, chat? How can we fix this real quick? A rectangle. I need a rectangle right now. Can we, what's going on here? Not the best professional user actually here. Right? It's fine. So, this is actually not what I want. Anyway, so the red thing in here. Yeah. Can we make just a triangle or something? I'm actually suffering. What is this? How can I rotate this? Here. Ha! Okay, fine. It's fine, guys. You get the point. Let's do this. It's fine. Let's do fucking. What am I doing? What am I making it complex? Man. IQ 0. Alright. So the red thing is basically how much the VC owns from your company. And the green. And the green is what you own from your company, right? So at the beginning, before the funding, you earned everything of your company. Now you earn, let's say, only 60% of your company, and the other 40, quote, quote, is from the venture capital. Which basically means that you lose a lot of money and also a lot of power because they, yeah, you know what I mean? Because in 2 years from now, this 2 million is into the trash can. You burn it all. But you still need to have more money, right? Because you need to grow and grow and grow. It's a never-ending story. So what's going to happen is you're going to ask for more funding. And then, yeah, this is a problem, right? Because right now, you're going to have, this is what you have. You maybe only have 20%, right? And all the rest is for VCs and other investors, right? And then years go by and all that stuff. And yeah, a lot of things can happen. You actually basically don't own anything anymore. So all that hard work, what you did for your company, the milking process, remember back in the days where you're milking these cows with your bare hands? Well, these were basically for nothing because you almost lost everything from your company. But Anthony, now you still didn't explain what Levenue does. Exactly, but this is very important context. Because what Levenue does is we take away these badass, dusty venture capitals. We delete these with the blink of an eye. Why? Because we think as an owner, you should own everything of your company. And instead of that, you should leverage your recurring revenue as revenue. That basically means that, like I said in the beginning here, at the start of January, you know at the end of the month you're gonna have 50. So we know that by the end of the year, we're gonna have 600. But that's by the end of the year. That's not now. That's the end of the year. But most likely, we're gonna have these 600 if we can keep our customers. Maybe there is a customer going away. But maybe there is some customer coming in this place, right? Some churn, some growth, right? But something we kind of know based on your metrics, your performance, we know that you're gonna earn these 600 by the end of the year. So at Levenue, we have a marketplace. We have a marketplace. This sounds like startups can over-leverage themselves. You can't because we prevent that, right? You can't. We have all your metrics. There's a very, 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 very good question from Cruise Life. You cannot over-leverage yourself because you cannot trade as much as you want, right? Based on your churn, based on all your metrics, bank data, accounting data, which you need to link on the platform, which we already have. It's already 3 years old. We have already did a shit ton of we have a lot of customers. We gonna prevent you for over leveraging yourself, right? Because like I said, we have this marketplace here, guys, and on this marketplace we're gonna cut these in two, right? Because we're gonna have on this side of the marketplace we're gonna have these milky SaaS companies, right? And on the other side we're gonna have like XaaS, right? And on the other side we're gonna have these investors. Going on here. I'm the goat. I'm him. I'm not him. Alright. Right. So what you can do is basically say, yo, listen, I have 5 subscribers. Pay me 10 euros. Which basically I'm gonna sell this 600 to you. I need to say it differently. I'm gonna sell my... It's time to quit. I'm gonna sell my recurring revenue into upfront cash. So you are gonna pay me 600 and I'm going to give you my subscribers. But of course, you're gonna pay more than what you get, right? So there needs to be some benefit for the investors, right? So you're gonna pay a little bit more, some kind of, how we say it, like interest. It's kind of bit price thingy, but we're not gonna cover that. So you're gonna get your 600, but you're gonna sell your recurring revenue for 12 months, which basically means that the investors will get this money plus a little bit extra, and you get this upfront, so you can already start investing and growing your company, even though it's still January. That's what Levenue does. And if you don't understand this, that this is basically very big, because the world basically is, SaaS is just the thing right now, right? It's just insane. Everything is basically recurring these days. Everything is a subscription model. That's what we call problem solving, right? What if the Pankony, what if the Pankony goes bankrupt? What if the company goes bankrupt? It's basically a loan. Very good points, guys. By the end of the day, it's basically a loan. But you need to understand that we physically claim and legally, I need to be very careful what I say because I'm not a legal expert, I'm not a jurist, right? But we legally claim these subscriptions. Plus, what we do is we have a backup of these, right? So, if you have 5 subscribers, you can never ever get 600 in return. Because that's basically over leveraging yourself. That's possible, right? So we have a trading limit algorithm that calculates what you can based on your a lot of metrics of your company, right? We hook with your Stripe, we hook with your Recurly, with your bank account, we check your bank statements, right? We link with your bank, PSD2. So we link everything and we do some underwriting, right? We have an underwriting engine that basically underwrites the loan, so to say. But we still have physically track these things and claim these things and backup. For each subscriber we have another subscriber ready. So if this churns, we replace it with this one. It's from a high level, it's easy, but from a low level, there's a lot of complexity going into this, right? But very good questions here. What if a company goes bankrupt? Well, we try to prevent that by checking the churn, the growth, the runway. We calculate the runway based on the what amount is in the bank. How much do you spend? Where do you spend that on? We use AI and all that stuff. No, it's no lie. It is what it is. We classify, we label that stuff. So we check where do you spend, how much comes in, how much churns and all that stuff. Based on these values, we determine if you can even have a loan. If you can even trade your recurring revenue, if you're even eligible to do that. Because the marketplace is basically just the UI for this thing, right? We have a lot of other tools that are under the hood to underwrite the trade. Wow, that's beautiful. I should be a salesman. It's crazy! Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm hungry and I need to play some League. If you go bankrupt, they will fund you. Yeah, but that's true. That's true. This company. This company is 4 years old. You know what I mean? It's like we are very established in the scene. You know, we basically acquired 3 companies already. It's a little bit different, right? This is no story. This is no toy project. You know what I mean? How many people do work at, like, I don't know, maybe I don't know, 35, 40 people right now? Maybe a little bit less, I don't know. We have a lot of people working, right? Don't get that mistaken. This is not your indie development project. This is the real deal. Yeah, my cam is off, and that's basically because it's overheated. It's overheated, guys. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. The problem is, do you play CS? No. Connor's like, no, I don't. I suck balls. I play League. The reason I left my cam on yesterday from the meeting and it's overheated. That's why it's done. It's 2 hour stream anyway. Guys, thank you everyone for being on the stream. Consider subscribing, jump into the Discord, buy some stuff from me. I see you in the next video or live stream.